Hey there everybody, it's Matt with Mac's Video, and today we're doing a doubleheader review. I haven't done one of these in a long time. It's been a good while since I've done a doubleheader review. For those that are new to the channel and maybe not have watched some of my older videos, my doubleheaders are when I review a movie or show and then compare it to its original source material, such as a book or a manga or so forth, so on. And today we're reviewing The Dark Tower, the movie that just came out, and the book series by Stephen King. Um, First off, I'm going to go into this saying that when they made the movie, they said up front this isn't going to be an exact adaptation of the book. It's going to be inspired by the book. So going in, I knew it wasn't going to be exactly as the book. And the first thing that made me understand that was the titling of the movie. Um, because the first book in the series is called The Gunslinger. The series as a whole is called The Dark Tower. So when they called the movie The Dark Tower, I knew they weren't going to be basing it solely off the first book. And so I went in with understanding, and so I think that was the problem because when I looked at the reviews, critic reviews of the movie before I went and saw it, because it only been out one day by the time I went and saw it, because I went and saw it Saturday. Today's Sunday morning, because I'm lazy and it took me this long to get my second video up for last week. So I'm considering this my second video for last week. I'll be uploading another video tonight to make it my first for this week, and then so forth. But anyway, um, so when I saw those reviews, they were all negative, and I felt as though these were people that read the book series and expected it to be a direct adaptation of the book series. So, knowing that, me and my buddy Hayden went and saw it, and we both liked it. It was actually a pretty good movie. Um, what they did based off the book, they did correctly. What they did as their own thing, I felt they did tastefully and not as a way to disrespect the fans of the book, but to modernize the story. Because Stephen King started the story back in the 80s. So the first book was based in the 80s. And it didn't finish till early 2000s with the Wind Through the Keyhole to finally round out the series as a whole. So yeah, it had to be modernized some, and I think they did it well. So let's compare and contrast here. Start with our main character, Roland Deschain of Gilead, and Roland is the last of the line of Eld, the Gunslingers, and this takes place in a parallel world to ours, known as Midworld. Um, they consider our world Keystone Earth, and they are Midworld. So Roland, um, the rest of the gunslingers all died out in the war against the sorcerer, the Man in Black. I'll remember his name in a second. Walter O'Dim. That's it. Um, and so let's talk about the backstory of Roland for a second. In the movie, by the way, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. I'm going to try to limit spoilers. I'm not going to give away the end of the movie, but I have to talk about some of the movie to really drive home the differences between the two. So if you plan on seeing the movie, be aware of that and so forth. But yeah, so in the movie, Roland's father is killed pretty early on in the movie by uh, the Man in Black. And and he's killed by just him telling him not to breathe anymore. And there you go. In the books, his father died a bit different. It was it was still by Walter, but it was different. And I'm not going to go fully into that because that was a long, drawn out process to fully go into how Walter eventually did in Roland's father. So you have that. And also, this was another one of those creative processes, kind of like they're doing with Death Note, of it never expressly says that Roland's white, but it highly emphasizes, like highly, hints at it, with his skin had been darkened by the sun and whatnot, and yada yada. But I still feel that Idris Elba did the part well. Idris Elba is a fantastic actor, and when they announced that he would be playing the gunslinger, I at first I was like, I don't know. But eventually, I warmed up to the idea, and he was a fantastic actor to play Roland. So, thumbs up on that one. Um, and they nailed his personality very well. Roland is that classic, Western style hero where he's always gruff and grim, but he has a heart of gold. So that was good to see that they got his personality down right. Next, we'll talk about your main villain, the Man in Black. Um, I felt that they really captured the Man in Black's overall personality from the books through Matthew McConaughey, and he played a very, very good villain. And um, I felt like they escalated his power slightly because the thing with the Man in Black in the book was he had awesome power, but he very rarely used it unless it was to mess with you. But in this one, he was just willy-nilly magic everywhere. But they still had his overall personality pegged, and that's what's important to me is that they had that pegged well. So good for that. Um, Next, we'll talk about Jake, and Jake Chambers is kind of your secondary main character. In the movie, he's pretty much your very main character. They kind of shift the focus from Roland in the books to Jake in the movie, and that's fine. Um, but Jake is a teenager from Keystone Earth that in the books he gets to Midworld in different ways. I won't say how, but the way that he got to Midworld in the movie is the second way that he got to Midworld in the books. And he didn't get to Midworld in the books that way until book 3. So, I don't know. Still, it still worked out well. It played well for the movie. I felt like if they did it the way in the books, it might have been a bit cliched. So I understand why they went the direction they did. Um, but Jake, I felt like his personality was a little different from the book, and I mean they gave him a small amount that I was looking for because Jake in the books was very back and forth with Roland. It's either he thought of him as a father figure or he hated him. It just depended on the day. So I guess they had to go with a bit softer tone calls. And also in the books, Jake's parents were rich. His father was essentially a douche, and his mother was just a person in their life. She had no real personality or wants or ambition. She was just there to listen to what Jake's father had to say. So, but in the movie, Jake's father was a fireman that died heroically in a rescue attempt, and his mother is a understanding, passionate, single mother who's just trying to do the best she can for her son. And he has a mean stepfather kind of turned to a reverse Disney movie there for a second. It was weird. But so that I guess I get. The single mother thing is very popular today. You know, it's a thing that happens in real life a lot, so people can relate to it. So I guess I understand why they went in that direction. Um, so yeah, that's your main characters. The storyline they went rushed everything in the books. That was my one problem was they went straight to the end. Like straight to it. I don't know if they plan to make a second movie. But if they do, I'm gonna be fascinated to see how they pull it off because they essentially went 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All those books just in a straight shot. So I don't know how they're gonna pull that off, but if they do, good on them. So yeah, overall, the movie is well worth the watch. I went and saw a matinee, so it was $8. It was worth the $8. Um, the books, I highly recommend people either read them. I listen to them on audiobook, like I do with most series nowadays. Um, very well done audiobook formats. So definitely check them out. Let me know what you think in the comments if you've seen the movie or if you read the books. Let me know your thoughts on them. This is one of my favorite series that I've read in the recent years. So yeah, so that's all for me today, guys. My final analysis is not a good adaptation of the book, but a good movie nonetheless. So thank you everybody for watching. I'm very appreciative for everything you do. If you like this video, if you like the kind of stuff I do, please hit that like button. It helps a lot. Lets me know what you like and what you don't like. And yeah, so I love all of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.